Hello everyone, welcome to Monster Monday. I'm Austin Adamson, and this week I'm playing a little independent game called Destiny from a small studio based in Bellevue, Washington. Bungie. They made a game called Halo. Did pretty well. Lasted a while. Yeah, so this is, you've probably already heard of this, if you're watching this. First-person shooter with kind of RPG, massively online RPG mechanics. And right now, I'm showing you is Venus. The story's a little confusing, but some weird space orb came down and kind of transformed all of the planets, or some of the planets in our solar system, and made them livable. That was hundreds of years ago. So humanity expanded. They don't make it clear. But this is the open world exploration mode, kind of 100 years after humanity expanded and then got almost wiped out by some dark forces that were trying to take out that space orb. But here we are on Venus, and it looks real pretty. This is the PlayStation 4 version, in case you're not sure. Let me make sure I have the chat open and that the audio is not messing up. Okay, good. So yeah, if you have any questions about this, just let me know. So yeah, right now we're doing open world, probably my least favorite part of the game, but I wanted to show it off.
Open bounty for scouting this area.
Oh, okay, this needs to be muted.
Details are following.
Where's the mute button? So this is my character. I've been playing a few hours, several hours, since Thursday, really. Game came out Tuesday, but I was on location for the Bungie release. They did a special event at their offices. They let people into their headquarters. So here we are. The free roam kind of... Oh, that's right, I was going to turn subtitles on, that's why I went there. Subtitles enabled, and let me change the screen bounds because I'm playing on a new screen. Seems like every new game nowadays has this, for better or worse. One extra step that you gotta take before getting into the game. So here we are. I got some mission from some dude to map an area. So I can call out my speeder bike just about any time and encounter random players like this guy right here. He's off doing his own thing. He waved to me. We could sit here and dance because I don't know. Anyway, let's go back to our mission. These missions on the what are they called? The open world kind of exploration-based freedom missions are kind of boring, busy work. Like this. They're going to have me go in here and either stand here. Yep, all I have to do is stand here for 10 seconds. And there's no threat. It's not like I'm defending an area. It's not like I'm clearing an area of enemies. I'm just standing here, and now I'm done. Mission complete. Great.
Got what they need. Let's keep moving.
Why do I still have sound? I thought I muted this. Okay. One thing about this open world area is the enemies respawn, so you cannot kill them all. You can't eradicate these aliens from the planets, they're always going to be here, and they're always going to come back after you walk away. Sometimes you don't even have to walk very far. So you notice when I kill enemies that these boxes fall out of them. It's very, very much like Borderlands in the sense where you shoot, you kill things, and they drop loot. In this case, the loot is going to be armor, weapons, or ammunition. And then, as you saw in my inventory here, you got all these different armor slots. These are encrypted armor sets. We'll go decrypt them in the tower. Like, you'll get a random loot drop, and you'll pick it up, and it'll just be this engram, which you need to decrypt before you can put it on your body. The level cap is 20 right now. It's a soft level cap. Very confusing. I feel like the game doesn't really do a good job of explaining a lot of things. Basically, once you hit 20, the only way to progress past 20 is through light points in your rare armor drops. Oh. So let's do a couple more missions here. Oh, look, there's a beacon right here we can grab one from. Let's see what tedium they want from us. Gonna need more bullets. Okay, this one I've gotten plenty of times. It just means kill a bunch of enemies. Doesn't matter where they are on the planet, as long as they're here. So we'll go kill about 10 guys. Doesn't matter how many I've already killed. Luckily, the shooting is a lot of fun. Like, everything, the weapons are fun to use. Right now I'm using an auto rifle. So as long as I hold down the trigger, bullets will fly. And you'll notice that when I hit enemies, numbers pop off of them. Damage indication, and most enemies have a critical spot, so where you hit them and yellow numbers pop off. So that's almost triple damage usually. Sometimes it's their head, sometimes it's their chest. It just depends on the enemy. It's kind of fun, almost puzzle style mechanics, similar to Halo. You know, you need to approach different enemies in different ways. In Halo, you would use different weapons. Like, you would use the plasma pistol to take out shielded enemies, and then human precision rifles to get headshots and inflict the most damage. It's very similar to that, but instead of different weapons you're using, I mean, you can switch to different weapons, but really it's more how you approach them. You learn their kind of movement patterns, and you learn their vulnerabilities. Like, you shoot them in the head, or if they're the robots, you shoot them in the chest.
Should satisfy the war cult.
That's my melee. You'll notice in the bottom left where all the HUD is. There's my 3 weapons. Right now I've got a shotgun, auto rifle, and a rocket launcher. My melee is next to that, and then my grenade. The melee and grenade are both on a cooldown. So instead of getting a set of like 3 grenades, you throw them all, they're gone. You get 1 grenade every, 30 seconds or a minute. And same goes with melee. You can punch at any time, but you have a increased damage when your melee power is activated. So let's do one more of these Venus missions. And I love the way this speeder bike, or what do they call it, a sparrow, the way it sounds. One of my friends described it well. It's like a Star Wars pod racer mixed with one of their speeder bikes. Just real good. It's a real good sound. Okay, so now my goal here is to kill scavenging fallen and collect wire wraps. Sounds more complicated than it is. all I got to do is kill these guys. These aliens are fallen. So you got your, and then you just can collect what they drop. So I gotta collect. Looks like 4 more, maybe a little more, maybe 10 more or so. But yeah, there's not a whole lot of variety to these missions. And if they didn't make them as like bounties, which I'll show you once we get to the tower, what exactly a bounty is. They're like daily challenges, or that you can collect more rewards from if you complete them. If they didn't have these missions in those challenges, I don't think I would play them again. There's just not a whole lot to it. It's real repetitive, really simple. It's basic, like not great, not fun. If the movement and the shooting wasn't as good as it is, then this wouldn't be it wouldn't be enjoyable at all. Like if Borderlands had quests like that, or endless quests, you know, kind of, and I wouldn't be interested in that in Borderlands. It's a lot of the closest 2 games I think are, I guess, World of Warcraft and Borderlands kind of meeting together. I didn't play any of World of Warcraft outside of the beta, so this is mostly new for me, all these mechanics. I've never been a real big fan of MMOs, mostly from the monthly payment aspect of things. And while this is kind of an always online game, you need an internet connection to play it. You only need PlayStation Plus for certain parts of it. You can play all of the story. You can play, I think, play these missions. You just can't do any of the cooperative missions or the competitive multiplayer. Did I get enough of these wire wraps yet? I'm fighting the same enemies. I'm just walking back and forth between 2 groups of enemies. This is one of the perks I have when you customize your character class. As you level up, you kind of unlock perk options that you can customize your class. Let's show off my my super ability here. So that yellow meter right there fills up, and once it's full, you can activate it by pressing both the shoulder buttons here and kind of give a real devastating attack. Mine's a ground pound, and didn't do it quite right. Didn't kill anyone. It's okay, because these guys are real weak. Alright, I got all those wire wraps. Another mission completed.
Updating holiday. Well done.
Alright, so we're gonna head back to the town, which is called the Tower. And so to leave any mission or any matchmaking playlist, you have to go to Orbit. It's kind of the menu of the game. It's not much of a menu, more of a map. Like here we are in orbit. Here's my ship outside of Venus. And you just choose to set a destination. So we're going to go to... Here are all the available areas. The reef is, yeah, the asteroid belt. Venus, Mars, the Moon, and Earth. And the last city on Earth is the Tower. Or the last city is called the last city. But there's a group where all of us Guardians, the heroes fighting for Earth's survival, all go to stay. But that's one thing I don't like, is the traversal, how they force you to go to orbit and then go to the tower. So you gotta load to go to orbit and then load to go to the tower, instead of being able to just jump straight to the tower. Like, I should be able to leave Venus and go to the tower all in one movement. kind of circumventing that orbit stage. And these load times are pretty killer. I mean, they mask it with these pretty space tunnels, but it adds up. So, like, you know, if you're playing online a lot, playing late night, it gets hard to keep going, you know, unless you're doing the same thing. But the way it's designed is it wants you to go back to the tower. It wants you to decrypt these, you know, loot drops that you've got. It wants you to pick up new bounties. So it wants you to go to and from your missions and the tower. And it's just not very convenient to do so. So here we are. This is the tower. It overlooks the last city. And here we are in complete third person for this part. With some real weird fog flicker. It's the first time I've seen that. I don't know what's happening. It's not always nighttime on the tower either. It seems like there's a day-night cycle maybe. So here is one of the vendors, and he decrypts all of my encrypted loot and gives me rewards for picking things up. I don't know what I had there, but it gave me 400 glimmer, which is one of the currencies. And let's hope for some good loot here. So I decrypt that, and I got a piece of armor. And another piece of armor. And a crappy weapon. So then you pop open your inventory, and we can... the menus and stuff are really nice here. Like, to compare, you just pull R2 here, and I can see what I have versus what this is. So this Highland Type 0, not very good. It's a green, uncommon, versus a blue, which is rare. So I can just dismantle that, turn it straight into cash and materials. So this one's also a downgrade, which is a bummer. I'm looking for light points, basically, and that's about it to kind of level up at this point in the game. And this one, another disappointment. That is how my loot has been going lately. That is uncommon. It's almost guaranteed to be worse than what I have. Oh, so let's look at the this menu a little more. You have 3 weapon types. Like I said, primary, special, and heavy. Heavy consists of machine guns and rocket launchers. So you notice there's kind of these... This is how the game handles its perks. The more experience you gain while using this weapon, you know, these different options unlock. Like, so, less recoil, penalty to range, and I can cycle between them depending on how I want my gun to handle. And then there's some that are just always on. Like, once you upgrade this, it always does more damage when you get kills. You know, it always has increased attack power. But then I can change between high caliber rounds and a fitted stock. So if I want it to be more stable or I want it to do more damage, I like to do more damage. So in addition to your individual weapons and armor all having these similar kind of almost Elder Scrolls style, like the more you use it, the more experience you get, leveled system and perk system, you have your subclass. So all of these start off locked, and as you progress, you unlock your first grenade, your flashbang grenade. You unlock your jetpack, your jump, your special jump, and then you unlock your super ability. So Fist of Havoc is what it is. And then once you progress, level up more and more, you can change your grenade type. You can change how your jump is handled. You can change how your melee attack is handled, and then you can give your boosts to recovery or agility or armor. You can kind of add modifiers to certain parts of your ability. It gets kind of, you really customize it how you want, and then there's a second subclass for each of the classes. I have yet to dive into this, but kind of like there's a different style of super. This is all different. These jumps looks the same. Has a different type of grenade. So yeah, you can. There's some really cool customization options and things you can do. Let's see if there's any bounties. That's the postmaster. He gives me mail messages. So this guy, he's in charge of your daily classes. So right now the only available bounties I have are in the Crucible. Doing Crucible bounties earns you Crucible rep and additional experience. So here's the 3 currencies I guess I should point out. You have your Glimmer, which, I don't know. You can buy some things with it, but it's mostly, I only use it for upgrading weapons. Like those perks, those different things you can change are all upgraded with Glimmer and materials. And then you have your Vanguard marks and your Crucible marks, which are used to buy Vanguard and Crucible gear respectively. You can only earn 100 Vanguard and 100 Crucible marks per week. So it's kind of, you want to maximize that. I haven't been able to spend any because the cheapest thing requires Crucible level 2, which I'm Crucible level 1. Reputation builds your Crucible level. And then they cost 150 Crucible marks. So let's go to orbit and hop into a strike mission. I'll play a later level difficulty. There might be some spoilers. This is the story is all over the place in terms of understandability. So I had seen some late game stuff, and I wouldn't even consider it spoilers because you don't really understand I didn't understand what's going on. It's crazy. So we're gonna do, this is the Vanguard. The Vanguard and the Crucible are your kind of matchmaking. So it'll pair us with 2 randoms. We're gonna do a difficult strike mission. If you have any questions, please let me know. Or if you're watching this archive, post a comment, and I'll try and get back to you because there's a lot. There's a lot to this game, and most of it is not explained. But if you're willing and you just brute force it, you can figure it out. That's what I did, and word of mouth, kind of talking to people online and figuring out. There's almost an appeal in the mystery, kind of figuring out what these individual items that you get do and how you can spend it. And there's a market, like a merchant that shows up only on the weekends, and he carries exotic gear. So these are my 2 allies. They're ships. You get to customize your ship. You can buy new ships. It's only cosmetic. There's no way to spend real world money on ships, which is good unless you're going on eBay. And so right now I'm with 2 24s, and we are in what do we go on, a fire team. So when we're in these kind of open world areas, okay, so this is Venus again. In these areas, we will still encounter, like this guy. He's not in our strike team or our fire team. He's just on Venus doing his missions. And here we are doing a focused match-made mission, and we're encountering him until we get into these zones where the respawning is restricted. It forms its own instance, if you're familiar with MMOs. So that only our fire team is here. I guess so you can't, so they can control it much more. They can control how many enemies are fighting against how many players. So now, let's see, right now our goal is to kill these flying orbs. So we're supposed to. We're trying to get to the Nexus. The point of these missions is you're mainly trying to get loot. So you're hoping for loot drops and building experience and kind of unlocking hopefully new and better armor and weapons. Right now we're fighting hard, and these weird flying orb things is the kind of the mini boss of this area. So you'll see if I shoot the boss or this purple thing right in the eyeball, it does yellow damage, crits, and I got my supercharge, so I'm gonna use it. Did some damage. Created 3 orbs of light. One of the very confusing things that pops up at the start. You won't know what the heck that is. Anytime you use your super ability and you take out enemies, you generate orbs of light, which then your allies can pick up. That charges their super quicker. It doesn't explain it, and I'm pretty sure it depends on how the number of enemies you take out or their skill level. So if you take out a group of small enemies, you might only generate one orb of light. But if you take out like this captain, you take out a couple real strong, tough guys, you're going to generate more orbs of light. This is the death screen. Luckily, the difficulty we're playing on permits respawning, even though this is a respawning prohibited area. So my allies can revive me, which my friend is doing here. Thanks. Or I could wait the timer and then just respawn on my own. There are, I think, heroic. When you put on the heroic modifiers, you can't be revived, or you cannot respawn. You can't wait for the countdown timer to go away and respawn. You have to be revived by an ally. I get all this glimmer.
The upper level's open.
Glimmer has become a useless currency at this point in the game. This kind of glow distortion that you see after I'm sprinting for a while is one of the perks that I have. Let's see if I can show it off here. If I use my melee while I have this wind, I do like a much more powerful melee attack, which in multiplayer or competitive multiplayer is it's a one-hit melee usually, versus this one which takes a couple. I don't know where we're going. Boom. Yeah, so this auto rifle that I have has a upgraded scope. It doesn't do any elemental damage like my shotgun and my rocket launcher do, but it does a steady flow of damage. Is why I've been using it. All right, guys, come on, let's push on to the next area. But yeah, all the movement and the environments, like, it looks real gorgeous. The guns, they're detailed. Everything's crisp and sharp. There's kind of not. I haven't seen very many. I can't even, off the top of my head, think of a time where the frame rate has dipped to noticeably lower levels. Maybe it's just because my eyes hurt from playing all weekend. But it looks good. Looks good. Not a lot of tearing. Just a real smooth console gaming experience. For my time on the other consoles, the PS3 and the Xbox 360 versions, things are a little blurrier. They're a little muddier. But it still looks like a pretty good game. And right now, until I think the end of the year, their Destiny or Bungie's doing like a promotion where if you buy the digital version on PlayStation 3 or Xbox 360, they'll let you upgrade to the digital version on PlayStation 4 or Xbox One for free. You know, as long as it's in the same ecosystem. So if you bought Xbox 360, then you can get the Xbox One version for free, which is really cool. I'm crazy, and I bought the Super Collector's Edition to get a little talking toy that lights up. It's this little guy right here, your little ghost. Looks just like it. It's really cool. Pointless. It's gonna sit on a desk and light up every once in a while. So this is what the loot drops look like for armor, weapons, or other equipment. So I got a shotgun, and the color indicates, you know, the rarity. So white would be super common. Green is uncommon. I'm burning here. It's not good. Oh crap! And then what is it? Blue. Blue is rare. Purple is legendary. And orange is exotic. Yeah, so luckily my teammates are probably not streaming, so they can focus on the task at hand. But I really like these like environments. One of the dumb little things that the PlayStation does is when your light turns on, when you're in a dark area, your guardian, your hero, turns on their flashlight, and that your PlayStation 4 controller lights up all bright when that happens too. That's the power of the PlayStation 4. Greatness awaits. It's your destiny. So he's playing, I believe, is that a hunter? And they can go invisible. They do a lot of things with knives. I'm playing as the Titan class because I like the traditional kind of run and gun. Like, give me that authentic shooter feel. I don't need to be a space wizard, which there are actual wizards in this game. Alright. I got a Twitter notification with a friend who wants to join if he gets home from work at a decent hour. Get some Crucible going, because there your level doesn't matter. Wonder if I can... I totally can. So this is another kind of just... Oh, it's immune, but it's alive. This is another one of the things I like about Bungie games, is kind of the inherent, like, glitches and unintentional exploration that the community is always going to be doing. Like, this is the boss that we're going to be fighting later, and here it is. I'm able to stand right next to it and shoot at it. So this might be a great vantage point, actually. I'm going to try and stay up here as long as I can. What's shooting at me? Oh, there's a guy right below me. Yeah, because, you know, in other Bungie games, friends would always try and, get the Warthog places that they don't want you to take the Warthog, or, you know, in the competitive multiplayer of, like, Halo 2, we would always do similar things. So here it is. This thing should be, yep, piecing down. So now I have this great vantage point Am I actually doing damage though? That's what I'm gonna try. No, so there's an invisible wall that does not let me do damage that way. What about through here? Oh, yep. So now there's no way my allies are going to be able to get up there to revive me, but you know, that's kind of what makes it fun, is the dumb places you can go and the dumb ways you can die, as long as you're not hurting your team too bad. This is a very team-focused game. You want to be in your strike team. You're as of tomorrow, they're releasing their first, I guess, raids, where you'll have 6 players go on some mission and take down like multi-staged bosses, and you'll get raid specific loot, and you'll only be able to get that loot that week or something. So that'll be interesting. I'm gonna slide this a little closer. So it's just a lot of this, shooting dudes, things blowing up, reviving your allies, teamwork. And then after this, we can show you some of the competitive multiplayer. So the boss fights, they're pretty interesting, even though you pretty much just dumping all of your ammo onto these giant enemies. They're not all the same. You know, you're fighting the different attack patterns, the different, you know, look and weaknesses and stages of the different bosses are all unique enough to make things interesting. So after we take out so much of this guy's health, other creatures will spawn around him, and we'll have to, you know, shift focus. We want to take out his health, but we need to worry about the guys that can shoot us around this cover. Sorry, my back is messed up my back somehow. It's bugging me. Could be all this Destiny I've been playing. So yeah, Bungie wants theirs to be, you know, Destiny for the next 10 years. You know, like it was Halo for 10 years, or, you know, however long it was. A little less than 10 years before Bungie gave up Halo, gave it to someone else, but it's difficult to play this game and not make comparisons to Halo and to Borderlands, because, you know, those were two games that heavily influenced this, you know, along with World of Warcraft. So now we have to deal with these smaller enemies. I can use my super. Perfect time. Look at them all. Yeah. Get all those orbs of light. So yeah, these guys, there's a little diamond kind of in their chest. Those guys shooting the eyeball. Or the optic sensor. I guess they don't have an eyeball. These guys, right, kind of right in their core there. Counterintuitive, because they have a glowing red dot on their head. Oh, let me use my rocket launcher. I haven't used that yet. See if we can get by his shield, his rotating shield. It did some damage. 1,300 or so. Revive. Oh, almost died. from the internet chatter, the things for the raid will be a lot. The raids will be a lot more challenging, take a lot longer to complete than one of these strike missions, and then there's kind of different things that different people will need to be doing all at the same time. Much more of a focus on teamwork. You won't be able to lone wolf the raids, and at the same time you won't be able to kind of go into a matchmaking system because they've said there is no matchmaking for the raids, or at least not at the start. I mean, they might implement it somewhere down the road if it becomes harder to find, friends to play with. Or right now, I think most people with new consoles, at least, are playing this game. I've been personally craving a multiplayer game, something new, something fresh. I've been playing a bit of Last of Us Remastered multiplayer, but I played a bunch of that on PlayStation 3 as well. So it doesn't have this same kind of, like figuring things out, like the learning, the zeitgeist, in the moment, kind of experiencing all this stuff for the first time. It's a lot of fun. Like, it can be frustrating that nothing's explained, but at the same time, it's very interesting and rewarding to learn it all, kind of through word of mouth, or through your friends, or just by playing the game, by discovering. Oh my God. Yeah. Oh shoot. I did get an invite from someone, and if you have a PlayStation 4 and you aren't using the app on your mobile device, you are really missing out. Yeah, because you can send messages, view invites, see who's online, you can even, their messaging system lets you send like pictures from your phone. So I sent my friend a picture from Rick and Morty. I didn't have my microphone, I was playing at someone else's house, so I just sent some dumb picture to him that he viewed right on his PlayStation, or on his PlayStation app, and so it's, I don't know, it's useful. Another thing I tried with Destiny on the PlayStation ecosystem is the Vita remote play. Destiny kind of touted, or Sony touted, that they worked with Bungie and created a unique control scheme for the Vita when you're doing remote play. And I gotta say, it's smart. It's not the best way to play this game. And what I found myself doing was logging in from a separate account and doing the remote play on the Vita, so I could just basically use the Vita as a screen, but use a DualShock 4 for the controller. The only problem with that is you need to be within Bluetooth range of your PlayStation 4, which is significantly closer than just than what you can do with the Wi-Fi. So a lot of the audio stuff I had wasn't transferring correctly. It was cutting in and out when I was trying to do that. But if you just want to get a quick fix, or run around and buy some gear or something, the latency wasn't too bad, and the screen size was okay, and the controls, they made sense. Since you can't click on the stick to sprint, they have you push down on the D-pad, and the D-pad is super close to that little analog nub. Oh, we killed it, and I didn't even get to see him. That's okay, we'll all have a little... He's having a sit down while we just dance it out. That's what you do in Destiny. your destiny to dance. Just now the mission ends, and we will go to a post-game carnage report. That's what they called it in Halo. It's a, what do they call it? The advancement screen and activity rewards. This is where we get our randomized loot. Oh, I got 2 loots. And it's not better than my current auto rifle, and it's an encrypted engram. So let me leave matchmaking. Okay, and let's go to the tower so I can show you what it's like every time you get some gear, because it might be significantly better than the gear you have on. You want to go check it out, but it's encrypted, so you got to fly from matchmaking to orbit, and then from orbit to the tower. And I'm en route. I'm going. My ship is just, dialing in the GPS or the galactic coordinates. And we're back in a space tunnel. And we're still in the space tunnel. And we are going to be exiting the space tunnel soon enough. I do not know what is actually happening during this time. But, what you could do is during this time, you can be managing your gear. This is what I try to spend that time doing, usually. Okay, so I've also got a message at my, whatever that guy, postmaster. So let's decrypt this gear and see if it's worthy of even that load time. Okay, I got a new helmet. It's a Night Type 2. I'm currently wearing a Night Type 3, so yes, it was not worth it. And now let's see if the postmaster has some good news for me. Okay, I got hopefully a legendary item in here. Whoa. 3 legendary engrams and a rare engram. And then another engram. I don't know why he gave me all this stuff. It just seems like randomly the postmaster has mail for you, and sometimes it's really good stuff. So let's decrypt and hope for some actual legendaries. And nothing. I got 2 rare weapons that might be worth looking at. That auto rifle is worse than this auto rifle. Although it has much greater impact. And this one has more stability and a larger magazine. I might take the one with more impact. We'll hold on to that one for now. This is going to be not worth anything. This is a sniper rifle. Let's see if it's better than my current sniper rifle. It is not. So they get my hopes up with all that cool loot, and then nothing comes of it. Oh, this chest isn't even... No. Nothing. Alright, well, let's jump into... let's see if I can get this bounty. Earn 3 first blood medals. So let's, again, go back to orbit. Alright, and now that we're in orbit, let's load into the Crucible. So we're going to play kind of the default, the go-to multiplayer, competitive multiplayer mode. This game is entirely multiplayer, so the whole thing is a multiplayer mode. So it's searching. This is the matchmaking. Control is similar to, I guess, a domination in Call of Duty, only in the fact that you're capturing points. You don't get. You're capturing locations. You get points for capturing these locations initially, but you don't get points every 10 seconds or something. It's not like capture this point and then the longer you hold it, you need to hold points for 60 seconds to win. It's the more control points you have, the more points you get per kill. So if you have all three control points, every kill you get is worth, 150 more points. I don't know if that's the right number. It might be they might be worth 100 points each. I don't know. So you're still getting points even if you have none of the control points, as long as you're getting kills, but your kills aren't worth as much. Another thing that is not well explained. So here again, that's my ship, and I am en route to the map, whatever map we're going to be playing on. And as I get closer, you will see other teammates' ships kind of pop in to my space tunnel, unless I'm in the very front, which could be. But we should all fly in together like a good team. There we go. Here we are. All stuck in space traffic together. Here we go. Back on Venus for the third time. This is a medium-sized map. No vehicles. I don't even know if I can summon my little speeder bike. And that is our team. So you get to see everyone's kind of unique armor and the way everyone looks, which is, I guess, a cool way to show off your customizations. So no, I cannot even summon my little speeder bike. So we want to get our control points. The more people you have capturing, the faster you capture it. Why do I have a sniper rifle as my... Yeah, let me change that. I don't typically want to... You don't want to play on a small map. I'll show off the fusion rifle, since I showed the shotgun earlier. And because I switched secondary or special weapons, I lose all my special ammo. Luckily, there are plenty of crates on the map that hold all the special ammo. So it's your standard kind of multiplayer shooter here. You point your gun at enemies and pull the trigger. Not going to be instantaneous deaths like Call of Duty or Battlefield. Instead, you're going to want to, there's a little bit of a shield. If you see the white bar over an enemy's head, or a shield indicator. So this is much closer to Halo competitive multiplayer than it is something like Call of Duty. Ooh, did that guy just get a bunch of kills? And I don't believe there's any friendly fire. Okay, so I do have some special ammo now. Hopefully I can show. So it's to shoot this gun, you hold the trigger down and then it fires. So you can't just pop, turn a corner and then react. You have to be aware of your surroundings and anticipate your enemy's movement. Luckily, there's a motion tracker, So you should be able to tell when an enemy is coming at you, unless they are crouched. I believe when they're crouched and moving, they will not show up. But everyone just loves sprinting in this game. Yeah, I just killed that guy. Ah, he got me. It's a difficult weapon to master. And I'm almost preferring it to the normal shotgun because it's got a little more range and it feels like it's more powerful, more stopping power. I think it does fire slower, but for whatever reason, if I miss, I feel like I'm able to recover better because of the distance between me and my enemy isn't going to be point blank. So if I miss my first shot, hopefully they shouldn't be close enough to punch me. Oh, all these light orbs, man. I'm gonna be able to use my super again soon. So that guy's using a sniper, and his ally is going to kill me.
Zone A lost. Enemy
Let's
captured
see.
Zone
So they know I'm coming. Nope, my ally killed him. It's alright. I'll take this since you're busy.
A. You neutralized
We can just
Zone
dance
A.
in multiplayer just for the heck of it.
Enemy captured Zone B. Zone A's captured.
Because when you have a dance button, all your game modes need to support it. Okay, there's still a guy somewhere around here, but he ran. Probably just going to trade control points.
Zone
Happens
A
quite a bit.
lost. You
There's a guy over
neutralized
there.
Zone C. Enemy captured Zone
Let's just
A.
chuck a grenade.
Zone C captured.
Kind of the way that these grenades works is that they pulse.
Zone B neutralized.
Oh, he's got a super. Ah, crap. That's like a swords dance
Zone B secure.
that they use. The hunters, I believe. Hunters, knives.
Zone C lost. Enemy captured
So I'm gonna
Zone
try
C.
and use my super here. My problem with the way I use the super is a lot of time I save it until there's multiple enemies. I want to use my super when there's like 2 enemies or more kind of standing next to each other. Oh, I don't know how that didn't kill him, but you know, so I can kind of maximize, you know, my reward,
Zone C neutralized.
which in turn makes me hold on to my super for a long time, where I could be rebuilding a second super in that same amount of time, most likely.
Lost. Enemy captured Zone B.
I don't know. I guess it's kind of just figuring out how to use your resources. So you heard the announcer yell out heavy ammo on its way, which means
Heavy ammo
these purple crates are going to show up. This is the only way you can get heavy ammo. And I have my rocket launcher, which I have not used in multiplayer yet. Got a kill with it. I usually use the machine gun because I can be more mobile and I don't have to hope for the enemies to clump together like I already do with my super.
lost.
We already captured that? Okay.
Enemy captured Zone C.
Okay, you gotta see what. No big deal. Yeah. And I'm gonna die because I rushed in.
Zone A lost.
Well, this kind of is a good, hopefully a good introductory
Zone A.
lesson on what Destiny is.
Zone B neutralized. You captured
Oh, he's got his stupid swords dance, and he just took out 3 or 4 of us? Man. So yeah, there's a lot to this game, and there's a lot that I don't even know about yet. But if you have any questions, I'm going to be playing this for a while, I hope. I hope it holds my interest.
Zone A
It's the first game in a while that's kind of had me wanting to stay up
A secure.
all hours of the night playing it. You know, scheduling times to play with friends, and
Home run. Zone B lost.
you know, I haven't gotten bored with it in the 30 hours I've put into it in the last week. So we'll see. We might win this match too. It's gonna be close, evenly paired. I've got a grenade which I can toss at the entrance here.
Zone A lost.
And he still got me because I was not prepared. My back is killing me. Oh, we lost
Is not a challenge to
by
take
130 points. So 1 kill, and we could have won that. Ah, well, that is Destiny. That is the competitive multiplayer. Mulligan. I don't know what that means. And I got another tweet. People trying to join me. And someone got a rare or legendary drop. I know, looks like I got a gun that's not as good. And some gauntlets that aren't as good. Let's take a look at one more environment, just real quick. Well, we'll land on the Earth, and then call it a stream. Take things home. Show you what we're fighting for. That blue dot in the sky. That big ball of blue. And then I will probably continue to play Destiny all night, and maybe even just stream it out there if anyone's wanting to watch some late game raids or looking on that loot grind. Because I don't have any bounties I can claim. I did all that already. So this is Earth,
Ready if you are.
old Russia.
What's out there?
Just look at how pretty the sky is. How gorgeous this game looks. Now I'm just gonna find a nice place to watch the clouds roll in. Just sit down next to these bushes, and that's going to do it for this week's Monster Monday. Thanks for watching. Like I said, if you have any questions about Destiny, or if there's any other games you'd like to see me play or whatever, let me know. Next week I should be playing Roundabout on a PC. It's a puzzle driving game, kind of like a Crazy Taxi mixed with a puzzle game with a lot of live action cutscenes. So it's gonna be goofy. So stop by next week for another episode of Monster Monday. Thanks for watching.